Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Addie. I am a mama to 3 little girls, and today I just wanted to share with you something I think that's cute that we do at Easter time to find our Easter baskets. And this is something that we did as kids that my mom did for us, and I just have continued on the tradition because I just loved it as a kid and I could not wait to do it with my kids. I think I did it with Isabel the first time when she was 1, just like a really small version of it. And so I thought I would share with you. And that is a scavenger hunt, basically. So what I do is come up with different clues for each kid, and then they follow those clues to find their Easter basket. I'm gonna have a blog post on exactly what that looks like, exactly what the riddles are, the clues are, and that way if you need some ideas, you can go ahead and like grab that. I'll link it in the description below. But I will kind of walk it through with you right now too. So first off, it will really depend on the age of your children. So when I was even in high school, we were still doing this. And I think at that time we did about 10 eggs. So the clue would go on a piece of paper in your egg, and that is how you knew where to go next. And my mom just did it pretty simply. It like each clue just said, you know, kitchen or 3rd floor bathroom or basement pool table. You know, it was pretty much the clue just told you exactly where to go, and you just had to run all over the house to go to the next clue. And there were about 10 of them that got you, you know, to your Easter basket, and you had to kind of find it. And they were not super obvious. Like if it was kitchen, it didn't necessarily say exactly where it was in the kitchen. Sometimes maybe it would say oven, but sometimes it would be more generic. You had to kind of do some looking. For me, that is exactly what I do with my littlest ones. Rosemary, she is 1.5 and she's gonna do it this year, but she's only gonna have 4 clues, and they're going to be exactly what it's gonna be exactly like that. It will say, you know, microwave, and I'll tell her to go straight there, and all the clues for her will be right next to each other. So they will all be pretty much in the kitchen dining room because those are right next to us. So she can do that pretty easily. For the a little bit older than that age, I'd say maybe like the 3-ish age, you could do more simple riddles. So let me just look here. I have for my 3-year-old, one of the simpler ones is milk, eggs, yogurt, cheese, and more are kept cool here. So it doesn't exactly say refrigerator, but she would have to think about that, and it's pretty easy to be like, oh, that's where the refrigerator is, and she could go right there and do that. And so for her age, I would say about 6 clues is really pretty much the max you might want to do, just so that they don't get burnt out from running all over the house, because definitely I would say doing one downstairs in the basement and then one upstairs in the bedroom area, like that just makes it last a little longer. It makes it seem more fun. They're running around like crazy. You know, you go from the bathroom to outside, back up to a bedroom, back down to the laundry, something like that. So just makes it kind of wild. And for her, I do those less obvious but easy clues, I guess I'll say. And then for my now 6-year-old, she will have 10, and hers will be a little bit harder, I guess. Still not too hard, but just a little bit more thought that might have to happen. So for example, one of the clues is, if you open me up, you'll feel the heat. I often cook things on a baking sheet. So for her, she would have to think then of oven. And she may or may not need some help with this. I don't know. It's our first year with her doing some of this harder style clues. So we'll see how it goes, but I'm super excited. So I wouldn't recommend doing more than 10, because especially if you have them going up, down, over, it might just be a lot. But for that age, 6 to 8-ish, I think 10 is a pretty good number. And for maybe that 4 to 5, you could do just 8. And then, you know, that 3 age, do 6, and anything under 2, either don't do it or just do really simple, like anywhere from 1 to 5, you know, 1 to 4, something like that. But really just depending on their age and their skill level. Once they can read, it's much easier because you don't have to help them as much. So my 6-year-old may be able to do it on her own a little bit more this year, which is kind of exciting. And yeah, that's the basic premises. So a couple tips I want to give you when doing this. So So first off, I have printed mine this year, which has never been what I've done before. But if you print them, make sure the font is big enough that like the kids can read it. And two, when you go to cut out each individual one, make sure you put on the back who it belongs to if you have multiples. So this one says I-10. This is for Isabel and it's her 10th clue. So that is definitely something you want to pay attention to. And I have basically written out, I can like show you here in a Word document, I have listed out her kind of, let's see if it'll focus. Her 10 clues are here with the riddle and then the answer. And so what I have basically is that's how I know which one to put it here. So then what you need to do is because I have outside, basement, first floor, and second floor, so I need 4 different bags. And when I stuff these clues here, I'm going to put them in an Easter egg. Here's one I've already done. So I'm going to put them in an Easter egg, and on the egg I'm going to write the letter of who it belongs to. This is one from last year, so the I's starting to fade, but and then the little number. So this is I-2, which you can't really see in the screen there, but I-2 for Isabel, her second clue. So that's how I would know which clue to put in here. You can also put the clue in and then label it. And then because I-2 for her is microwave, I'm going to put it in the bag for the first floor. That way when I actually go to set these around my house, I can carry them and set them all together rather than me, myself, having to run upstairs, outside, you know, to do that. And so that is why I keep this master list, because it tells me which one is where so that I can sort accordingly. But you do have to remember, like, clue 1 is not going to the place where your riddle says. So my clue 1 riddle is going to the utensil drawer. But that actually is where your second egg is going to go, because your first starter egg with your first clue is going to be given to them. It's going to be in a bowl on your kitchen counter, or it's going to be, you know, just handed from a parent to the kids, or it's going to be whatever. So you have to make sure that you do one step before so that the clues are going to the next place. Hopefully that makes sense. So yeah, basically then you just put your clue in your egg. They're given the first one to start, so it'll say, you know, go blah, 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 go to the utensil drawer. And then they will pick up their second clue from the utensil drawer, open it up, read that clue, and they'll be sent all over the house for a fun little scavenger hunt. Again, this just made my day as a kid. This was so, so fun, and it has been so fun for my children, and I'm just super excited to do it again. I wanted to share it with you. Check out that blog post for kind of like the more detailed tips and tricks on it and my riddles and that sort of thing, and have fun with it. Also, if you say something specific like microwave, that might be a little easier to find, but if you say something more generic like bathroom or couch, it doesn't have to be obvious. You could put it, you know, hide it in a cushion. It doesn't have to be just sitting there showing. It could be behind the couch. Like, it doesn't have to be on the couch necessarily. So you can be, you know, make it as easy or as hard for them as you want. And my last tip is, if you put your last clue when you're doing your planning before you write them all out and decide where they're going, make sure that your last clue will fit their Easter basket. So for example, if your Easter basket will not fit in your microwave, make sure that your last clue does not send them to the microwave, or you are gonna be stuck because your Easter basket's not gonna fit there, and then they're gonna be like, where's my next clue? So make sure it's somewhere that it can actually fit. Closet, bed, but also, okay, another tip, sorry, make sure that if you put them in obvious places, like a bed where other kids can see it, they might be tempted to go take the egg or look at the egg. So that's why kind of labeling them is important, so that they know, oh, this is this is not mine. This is for, you know, whoever else it might be. So this is especially important when you have multiple kids doing this, but even if you just have one, it still is important, because if they are running around the house and they see one on a window ledge and they're like, oh, I see an egg, it's not where I'm supposed to go, but I'm just gonna grab it anyway, then their scavenger hunt is gonna be completely out of order. But if it says I4 and you're going around with them, you'll be like, oh, that's number 4. We have to find number 2 first, or whatever. So yeah, that's what we do. That's the Easter egg scavenger hunt. I just basically get my whole fat bucket of eggs here. You can't even see because they'll fall out if I show you, but I just get my whole bucket of eggs. I print out all my clues that are, you know, labeled, and then I have my master sheet. I'll go ahead and stuff these, separate them into the bags, and then usually I will set this up like the night before, and then place the starter eggs on the counter right as soon as we're like leaving for church so nobody sees, and then hide the basket at that same time so that they don't see that morning, if that makes sense. So let me know if there's any questions about this, and that's pretty much all for today. So I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.